What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Press X Podcast, episode 139, your weekly podcast for gaming news and opinions coming at you each and every Monday. I am Kevin McManus. With me, Todd Broussard.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a little while.
It's been a minute.
It definitely has. I feel like we've done a couple trio things, but the one-on-one with you, becoming rare.
It is, yeah.
I don't like it.
I'm sorry.
I like seeing your face here. We got the Nick here all the time.
Yeah.
Kellen shows up whenever he wants.
If we do them during the day like this, it's a lot easier for
That's
us,
true. There is actual sunlight hitting our faces, which is very, very rare for filming situations because it's usually like 11 at night. It's pretty bad.
That's true.
I am a little raspy. I am a little sick. So forgive me for my disgustingly raspy voice. But last week we were talking about 2019 and how insane. I think in January we get like Resident Evil 2 and we get Kingdom Hearts 3. And then February we get like Days Gone and Crackdown and Anthem and Metro.
It's crazy.
And then March has Devil May Cry and Shadows Die Twice. Like there's just so much stuff going on. We've got a little bit of a dog pile here with Zach Yoder saying Fire Emblem 3 Houses is my most anticipated game for 2019. That is fair. I think that was supposed to come out this year. They said there was going to be a Fire Emblem game.
Yeah.
Didn't disappear. They actually showed that one. But then they had a Yoshi game that they showed gameplay of last year, and then they just like haven't said anything about this year, so that's not coming out this year. It's just a little weird.
It is weird.
Nintendo is like delaying things behind the scenes and doing like switcheroos, and nobody seems to care because they were like, Smash Brothers.
Here's 100 characters.
Yeah. They're like, I think there are 87 characters or something at launch.
Pretty nuts.
It's kind of disgusting. But anyway, Fire Emblem, have you ever played anything like Fire Emblem? Like those tactics, Advance Wars?
Yeah. I've never played Fire Emblem, but I've played games similar.
I don't like them.
I think they're fine.
Not a big fan. New Fire Emblem doesn't look bad.
I get why people like them.
Sure. The thing is, I love the art style.
Yeah.
I'm not a big anime guy, but I love anime art. I like that art style a lot.
Right.
Like the character design. And I really like the characters and the setting and all the stuff for even like the voice acting and stuff for these Fire Emblem games. And then the actual game starts, and I'm just like, ooh, I don't want to play this.
Yeah, there's just something missing in the Fire Emblem games to like get me to want to play it. I don't know exactly what it is.
You can make babies.
That's a pretty
good start.
That's what was missing.
If you can,
I don't know what it is.
You can make babies in the game I'm in, so
yeah,
that's pretty good.
I just feel like it's such a sink of time to play through those games.
It's true.
But I don't know if I want to put that much time into it.
To me, those like more tactical games, I feel like I want to play against somebody. It kind of feels like playing chess against a computer. I'm just like, this doesn't do it for me. But you play chess against somebody else, it's fun. Like I like that. But yeah, like I'm never like playing computer chess. I'm like, man, this is great.
Yeah.
Side note, downloaded a game on my phone. I don't know what it's called. Only played it like twice. But I think it's called The Worst Game of Chess or Horrible Chess or something like that. And it is, you play chess, but all the pieces are randomly generated.
What?
So the board, every time you play, it's totally different because everybody just starts with different pieces.
That sounds awful. Is it fun?
It's interesting because chess is such like a sacred game and such a like it's hard to. I've seen people try to do like 3D chess like on a cube, and I've seen like people try to reinvent stuff like that. And chess is hard, but this was like a really simple way to make me play chess for a little bit. I'm like, this is interesting.
That's pretty interesting.
It is interesting. It's just randomly generated chess. But anyway, thank you for that comment. If you want your comment to be read on the show, please leave it down below. About anything on the episode. Ask us how our day was. Whatever. Doesn't really matter. We'll get to it. Let's move into what we've been playing. I've been playing a lot of things. Do you want to go first or should I go first?
I'll go first. I think mine's pretty short.
Okay.
I had the most I've been playing is the new World of Warcraft expansion, Battle for Azeroth.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I remember that.
Yes.
I instantly regret asking.
So this came out 2 weeks ago. They reworked all the classes. They did like a stat crunch.
Do the graphics look better?
I mean, since Legion,
I know they updated them.
Yeah.
So
all the new zones look really good.
My thing is like, to me, World of Warcraft this is how I always described it. It always looked like somebody ate a bunch of Crayola crayons and like threw them up. Like it's super colorful and like
Yeah,
the
it is very
colors
colorful,
don't mesh well. It's not like Overwatch, where Overwatch is colorful but like looks correct.
Right.
Like WoW has always been like a very clashing of colors looking to me. It looks like a kid colored in a book with crayons, and like all the colors are just whatever they picked.
All the new since Legion, the
Mhm.
last expansion, all the new zones and stuff they've come up with, and all like the new armors and effects and things like that, they look modern. But there's still a clash of when you see something old, when you go in an old zone or an old battleground, and you're like, man, this looks outdated. So they've updated those, but they're not on par with the new dungeons and zones and things like that. But one cool thing is depending on what side you're playing on, you're going through some of the same like zones when you're leveling up, but you're doing like a completely different storyline. Obviously, because you're fighting for like the Horde or the Alliance, that's the whole like theme of the.
Also, I would say my Snapchat needs to stop asking me if I'm for the Horde
It's
or for
crazy
the Alliance.
how much
I don't care.
advertising they're doing for this.
Here's the problem.
Yeah.
I don't play World of Warcraft. I played till like level 14, and I was
Okay.
like, I'm very over
Yeah.
this. I like
Oh, they also upped the level cap.
the Blood Elves,
Yeah,
but they're on the Horde,
yeah.
and I like the Alliance.
But they have these things called Void Elves now for the Alliance. They're called allied races, and they're like the
Mm.
Blood Elves but better.
I don't know. You're not selling me.
It's pretty sweet.
I don't know how much is this expansion. Is World of Warcraft free?
No,
And you have to pay monthly still?
yeah, it's $15 a month.
And you need to buy the expansion?
Yeah.
I'm out. This is an awful, awful situation.
Yeah.
I'm out.
I mean, I've been playing since Classic. I played through every expansion.
How much do you think you've spent on subscription?
I think it's like $85 a year.
Mm-hmm.
I usually do it yearly
Mm-hmm.
when I do an
It's cheaper.
expansion. So I don't know. I probably bought like 7 of those.
I mean, it's a lot of time.
Plus every expansion. Oh yeah.
You get a lot out of it.
I mean,
It just feels so outdated now.
yeah.
Like, I don't know how you sell that to somebody.
I think I have
new.
100 days played on my main character.
That doesn't seem like a lot.
100 days?
Yeah.
2,400. That's on one character.
Sure. I had more than that on Guild Wars, though.
On one character?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. I had more than that on Call of Duty. Oh, no, that's not true.
What is that? 2,400?
100 days?
Yeah, so 2,400 hours.
I have more than that on Call of Duty 4.
2,400 hours.
Yeah. Because Call of Duty, your counter goes into weeks. And I remember you get a couple weeks in. That's a lot of time.
Yeah, I don't know. I had two. I don't
It's
know.
like 7 days every week.
But I probably have like 500 hours on. I mean, I have like 10 max level characters.
I believe you played it a lot.
I think I've got my money worth.
Sure.
But
I was just
yeah,
curious.
it's really sweet. They did a lot of cool updates. They added like a new like PvP like world system going on. So there's no longer PvP servers. Every server has PvP on it. You can turn it on or off. You get like bonuses for doing things, and there's like new island expeditions and different things going on. And they're bringing back like some of the old like lore. They're bringing it into the world for the first time. So it's really cool.
Sweet. So that's all you've been doing.
I've been doing a lot of that. I've been playing some Overwatch. My buddy just hit me up and he's like, "Hey, I know you have Overwatch downloaded on your Xbox. I just bought it." Yeah, I mean it's a fun game. I haven't played it in a while, so it was cool to check out all the new characters.
Also, not a business model I like.
What do you mean?
Buy the game, buy the loot boxes.
You don't buy the loot boxes though.
You can.
People,
You can.
sure, I've never bought a loot box.
Sure. I'm just saying that game feels like a free-to-play game.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. He bought it for $25, which seems fine.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't like that game.
I think it's sweet.
I like Tracer, though.
Tracer's
I'm
cool.
still mad at them for getting rid of her butt.
Yeah,
The butt pose.
What's crazy is
That was the end of it.
Oh, the butt pose. Yeah, I guess that was the big thing.
Yeah, that was. We have a whole episode on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one did well. I think it was the thumbnail of her butt.
Yeah.
We should do that for this episode.
Yeah. We'll do that for every episode now. It's just the thumbnail of Tracer's ass. So I've been doing a little bit of that. Not a whole lot, just like an hour a night maybe. Been playing some. The new Hearthstone expansion came out a little while ago. Like
I heard it. Is this
month
the
ago
awful
now.
one?
No, it's really good.
The one that
It's called the Boomsday Project.
What is it called?
The Boomsday Project.
Oh, okay, no. So I watched a video recently. I went down a
The
rabbit
one
hole.
before
Dude.
Stock.
Okay, I went down
like the Witchwood or something. Wasn't a fan of
That might have been it. I went down a rabbit hole, And I watched this video on YouTube. I don't know who made it or anything. It was literally like recommended. And it was a card game balancing like video about how one card can break a game.
Yeah.
And what to do about it. And it specifically talked a lot about Hearthstone because Hearthstone just nerfs your cards, which is weird. Like, it would be like me having a, Yu-Gi-Oh card or a Pokemon card or a Magic the Gathering card, and then that card, like, changing to something else.
How it works, though, if they change it, they give you the full amount so you can craft whatever card of that specific rarity.
Okay.
So if they nerf it, you can, like, just get another card or whatever.
Okay. But, like, you can still buy cards, right? So, like, if a card was...
You can buy packs for real money, but when you win games and stuff, you get gold, which you can also buy packs with. And you can break down cards you get that you don't want.
So you can't, like, trade with other players?
No, into dust and craft any card.
That's a little better. But anyway, my point was I went down this rabbit hole and I was watching this video, and apparently they put in a card. I have no clue what it's called, but when he comes in, he battle cries, which I think is like when it enters the battlefield situation.
Enters the battlefield, something happens.
And he triggers every other battle cry that's happened that game.
His name's Shutterwalk, yeah.
Yeah.
He's for one class specifically.
Yeah, and it was apparently a big thing.
It's not busted. It's just like it's one combo deck for one specific class, and it like loses to aggro decks.
I'm just saying, I heard an uproar from the YouTubes. That's all I know. I don't play Hearthstone. Put it on Switch, I'll probably play it. Put it on Vita, I would be playing it for years now.
Yeah,
but they're not putting it on Vita. So.
It's on your phone.
I don't like playing things on my phone. I played chess for like 2 matches on my phone.
Pokemon Go on your phone?
I do, but that's so passive.
Yeah,
it's not
fair.
really.
That's fair. You actually have to. I mean, I play the most on my computer for sure.
Yeah, it seems like a better computer game to me. Like, I don't want to play that on PS4.
Yeah.
Switch I could do. Switch is a touchscreen as well. Like, I think that would work.
I think it's a little better now, but in the past, I mean, obviously it's a new thing, this like internet card game situation. So they're fooling around with these mechanics.
I like it.
I think it's awesome.
I think it's really cool.
I think the things they do with the game are cool. Like the shuffling mechanics are cool, and just the different. They've made a new card where every time you start the game and you have this card in your deck turns into one of these pre-created decks, and there's like 20 of them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that stuff. So the Hex, I actually think Hex did it kind of not better, but they were the first one to like interest me, I guess, in it. And their thing was they had trap cards where you would play a card. And so in regular like paper card game, I don't want to get into this too much, but regular like paper card games, you can't like be giving your opponent your cards and taking cards from them because one, there's like a trust issue with that. If you're in a tournament, you might like accidentally pick up their card or on purpose pick up their card. Like you can't do random with like too many elements because it would be cumbersome. You'd have to like number everything and like roll a die and try and figure it all out. The cool thing about digital card games that are only digital is that you can do all that stuff because the computer just figures it out for you. So the traps in Hex were really cool because you play a card that's like a trap and it literally put like fake cards in your opponent's deck. And if they drew one of those cards, they take damage. And that's something you just like couldn't really do in a paper. Like you would have to do something like, flip a coin when you draw a card.
Exact same thing in Hearthstone. And then they have a card that
weird.
It shuffles. It shuffles like 3 copies of a card into your deck. When you draw them, you get like a free minion. And now they have a card that it doubles the amount of cards you shuffle in your deck. So there's all these cool things.
Yeah, I like that stuff. I think like
those are really cool.
Ones where you can return stuff to your hand and it makes them cheaper, and they're like permanently cheaper and stuff. I like all that stuff.
And there's a card that you just steals a minion from your opponent's deck. So it just takes it out and puts it into your hand.
That stuff's cool.
It's really
That's one thing I do like about. Now we're going down a rabbit hole, but Cube, which is. For people who know what Cube is, basically you get the most powerful cards from whatever you're doing. We do Magic the Gathering, and it's just all the most powerful things, and you go around and you each like pick cards and you build a deck, and then you play each other. But in mine, since they're all mine, the swapping cards thing isn't as big as a deal. So I have a couple like fun cards in there that they printed like as jokes, but you can play them in Cube. Like there's one where you get to search for your opponent's deck and take like 4 cards out and they get to pick one and you get it. Like there's stuff like that in there, and I just think that that's cool, and that's the closest you can kind of get to it in real life. Anyway, off the card game board game chat.
The new expansion's really fun. Blizzard's like killing it right now.
You are just Blizzard fanboy.
I am a Blizzard fanboy.
It's so frustrating.
I love it so much. I'm so happy for him. So I've been doing that, and then I've been playing some League of Legends. I haven't really played it in a while, probably for 6 or 7 months I've been playing it. And they reworked my favorite champion, Nunu. Completely reworked him, and he's a blast now. And you can run around with a giant snowball.
What the fuck is a Nunu? It sounds like a puffball.
It's like a little explorer, like caveman kid, and he got lost and befriended the abominable snowman, basically.
Oh, it's kind of like a puffball.
He rides around on him, and he talks to him, and only he can understand Nunu.
All right, that's fine.
It's pretty.
I'll
awesome.
allow it.
Yeah,
I like Jinx.
You get to like command him and throw snowballs, and
I don't like this League game.
Snowball.
Ooh, okay. That's it. That's what you've been playing.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
All right, so I played Detroit Become Human. I finished this game. I wasn't down on it. I did the opening chapters. I was kind of figuring it out. I took a little break. I think my problem was I was playing it in too small of increments. Like I'd play it for 20 minutes here and 30 minutes here. The game is, well, with one particular character. It's interesting because it's like a different genre with each of the characters that you're playing. So one of them is this like very time heavy. You feel under pressure. You feel under the gun. You feel like your choices are like do or die all the time. And it is a very stressful game when you're playing as that particular character. There's literally a probability meter, and you'll be like talking to somebody and say something wrong, and it'll just like drop your probability of success. And then you're like, and then every few seconds it's ticking down, and then you'll find something and it'll go back up. Like, very stressful. Then another character so that's like Connor's kind of thing. Then Marcus's thing is more like action, I guess. You kind of like all of them have like a Batman vibe to them, but just like different sections of them.
Gotcha.
You can kind of like pre-make choices of actions you want to make and kind of string them together and then execute it after you've planned out kind of everything that you're doing.
Right.
And his is like this revolution storyline. But anyway, so you have these 3 characters that you're playing through. They're all different. I was digging the game. I've talked before specifically with Nier. I'm not a big like Android person. I don't like those stories. People love Blade Runner. I can't get into it. Like I think the worlds are really cool, but like the whole are androids human conversation, I just don't.
I think it's really interesting.
Really, I just don't care. They ask you some interesting survey questions while you're playing Detroit, which I enjoyed, and they show you the answer and the percentage of people that like picked the things, and I was shocked at the percentages.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it like a spoiler to talk about them?
I don't think so. So like the first question is, would you be in a relationship with an android?
No.
Over 70% said yes. And I was like, wow. I also said no. But yeah, I think it was 71% or something.
How different do you think that number is if you ask like,
people who aren't playing Detroit Become Human?
Well, not only that, but just like non-gamers.
Yeah, so that was another thing. They had like, do you believe in God was a question, and I think it was 30-something% yes, and like 40-something% no, and then there's I don't know was another option for things. Like I almost found that stuff more interesting, just like the percentage of things. But anyway, I played through the game. Cool. I liked it a lot. I was shocked. It started like ramping up towards something at the end, and that was kind of my thing. I didn't like Heavy Rain. I like this one more than Heavy Rain and Beyond.
Really?
Not close, yeah. I shouldn't say not close. Heavy Rain's pretty good. But Heavy Rain, you're going after this like killer, and everybody's kind of loosely tied to this killer, whether they're like researching them or something happened to them that relate. Like they're all sort of tied together. And in this game, I was like, I don't understand where this game is going. Like there's 3 threads. Are they just individual stories? Are they going to tie together at the end? Like I didn't fully understand. And once I started to like see a connection, I was like, oh, okay. This is cool. This is really, really cool. It's hard to talk about without spoiling, but I will say I liked this game a lot. I'll probably talk about it end of the year time.
I do remember when
year stuff. I'm a little sad. I did want to talk to Nick and Kellen like on camera about stuff. I'm just going to end up doing it off camera about choices and things because Kellen very upset about his choices. I don't know if you've heard this. No. I apparently screwed up quite a few times. I also screwed up, but loved my outcomes.
Oh, really?
Like everything felt like it was crafted that way.
That's cool.
Even though I clearly screwed things up.
That's what
I think that's interesting. Like I had satisfying conclusions to stories, and like I was looking at my percentages because it shows the percentage of your friends and worldwide that like did stuff, and I was in 0% for a lot of stuff from like friends, 9%. A lot of my choices, like 9% of your friends got this ending. Like not a lot of people.
That's really cool.
And I'm just like, what the heck was their stuff? And I wanted to talk to him about it, but anyway.
You haven't looked up any of the other stuff?
Oh no, I don't do that. I don't like that. I will say I might play this one again, but I think I would rather like get 4 people together, have those 3 play it, swapping characters, like each person plays a character, and I just watch. I think I'd rather do that than actively play it again. But yeah, I understand why people would want to play this one again, because it's that seamlessness thing. Everything I did, whether I screwed up or whatever, it's still tied together so well that I'm like, what happens if I didn't screw up? How, like, what does that look like?
Right.
It branches a lot, and it's really, really, really good. I was surprised. There's still, like, that's just the story, though. Gameplay-wise, there's problems. Like I talked about last week. You try to, like, turn your character around. There's no, like, turn around button. You have to, like, U-turn your character, so it's, like, this awkward thing where you're, like, bumping into stuff trying to make, like, a turn. Like, control-wise, I don't understand why you interact with stuff with the right stick when that also moves the camera. So sometimes you're like trying to interact with something because you use the right stick and then the camera turns and you're like, oh, now I can't see the thing I was trying to interact with. Like there's stuff like that that's annoying, but the story is interesting. And the reason I brought up the whole Android thing that I'm not a big fan of, I didn't really like it, but my game of the year last year was Nier, and that is an Android-based story, but it's not about are androids human, because the humans and androids aren't like living together on this earth. Like the humans are, far away communicating with the androids.
Right.
They're almost like a god to the android,
Right.
So it didn't bring up those questions of, oh, am I human, whatever. But the reason I brought that up is the storyline that interests me the most was the Marcus storyline, which was the, am I human storyline. So they did a good job because they roped me in with the one that I thought I would like the least, and the one that I thought I would like the most was actually the least interesting to me.
Really?
Yeah. So anyway, really like Detroit. I think everyone should check that out.
I definitely want to check it out.
Yeah.
Now that I got the PS4.
It's true. You should probably hook it back up.
Probably.
Play some Fortnite.
It's been a couple of weeks since I went to Florida.
Play some Fortnite. Next up, Firewall 0 Hour. So this is the PlayStation VR game. It is 4v4 gun combat, military, Rainbow Six Siege style. Yeah. There's a laptop. You need to hack the laptop basically by holding X and staring at it for a certain amount of time.
Search and destroy.
Yeah. And it's 4v4. You die, you're out. If you die, you can flip between the security cameras and kind of call things out to your teammates, let them know. Fully in VR. Uses the aim gun, or you can use a controller. The controller is really weird. Not that I don't recommend it, but like it's motion controlled. So like when you want to look down your sights, you literally bring the controller like up to your face.
I enjoyed using the gun.
No, yeah, the gun is awesome. I don't have any complaints about the gun. I'm just saying I played it with the controller first because my gun wasn't charged. So I was charging it and I was playing it with the controller, and it doesn't play like a normal. Like you look with your head because you're in VR. But then if you want to look down the sights of your gun, you bring your controller up to your face.
Right.
And like pull the trigger. Like it's just it takes some getting used to.
Yeah, that's definitely weird.
But anyway, with the gun, it is incredible. This is one of the best foundations for a VR engine
that's awesome.
that I've played. I've heard, I don't know, I don't get motion sick. I take off all the blinders and all the turn controls and stuff. I just leave it like a normal video game. But I've heard it is very good for motion sickness. So that's good to hear if that's true. I don't know. But they did some stuff that like other VR games don't really do. And I understand they had to do them, but the way that they solved their problems were really, really good. So like, for instance, one thing that I notice a lot of people in VR, and I don't do it, but this is like Craig 101. Okay. We get in VR, the first thing he wants to do, shove his head through a wall. Because you can in VR. So he's just like, all right. His head goes through the wall, and he's like, this is stupid. My head can go through the wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't even think to try to shove my head through a wall. But, that's the first thing he wants to do in VR type thing. So in this game, because it's a competitive shooter, I'm like, what if I shove my head through the wall? Can I see the enemy team through the wall? And I went to go do it, and you hear like a dong, and it makes like a noise, and other people can hear it.
Yeah.
And then your character's like hands go up against the wall, like you're cool. Crunching them up against the wall, and you can't actually get through. Like it adds this weird sense of presence and weight. Your gun hits off stuff. So, like, you actually have an advantage, not an advantage, but, like, it's something to think about if you use a shorter gun. Because if you use a long gun and you're going through hallways, you can actually, like, hit walls when you turn corners, and it clings, and your gun will get, like, stuck on something. And you have to, like, go back to that spot and manually, like, move your gun back to how it would be. It happens so much when you first start, and then after you've played, like, 3 or 4 matches, you start walking with your gun, more up against your chest and pulling it out when you need it. It's really, really interesting. It's awesome. There's definitely problems with it, but I'm just talking about the base game, the gameplay, the gun mechanics, all that stuff. Awesome. Amazing. Top really VR stuff. Problems with the actual game. It's got the Call of Duty thing that I still hate, and it's why I like Fortnite. And it is, you're level 1, you have 3 guns.
Yeah.
And then, like, you're fighting people who are level 15, and they have, like, P90s and stuff. And you're like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of, like, a fighting game. If, like, you start a fighting game, and it's like, you can't kick. And then you go online.
Or you just had, like, one character.
Yeah. And you go online, and you're, like, fighting these people who are kicking you. And you're like, this is bullshit. How do I kick? And it's like, oh, you can't kick until you hit level 13. It's like, why?
Yeah.
Why are you limiting my ability to actually play the game? Like, I don't mind skins and stuff being unlockables, but I absolutely hate that all the perks are unlockable, all the characters are unlockable, all the guns are unlockable. Like, you have to play for so long just to play the full game. And I absolutely hate that. That's why I don't mind classes, but I don't like that unlock system, the progression system like that. And that's part of the reason I like Fortnite, and I like, like Halo and Unreal, these arena-based.
Overwatch.
Sure. These arena-based things.
Yeah.
Because there is no, you need to, unlock this.
That's definitely my least favorite part of those games.
It's a little frustrating.
Yeah, it is.
Because there's guns I want to try, and I'm excited to try, and I get killed to them, and I just, like, can't try it until I hit, like, level 30, and I've played for a few hours, and I'm, like, level 8 or something. I'm just like,
it takes forever.
Just like, this sucks. Like, just give me everything at the start, and make a bunch of really cool cosmetic unlockables.
Yeah.
So I'm not a big fan of that. That's just the Call of Duty thing. And then the other thing is matches are load into a map, you're an attacker, you play, round ends, back to the menu, load into the map, different map, you're a defender, round ends, load out to the menu.
Okay.
Load into the map. So, like, it does this, jump loading screen, play around, loading screen. And rounds can be quick because you die and it's over. So they can be as short as, like, a minute if your team just gets obliterated, or they're 5 minutes, they're timed. So they're 5 minutes at longest. But, like, I don't understand why it's not jump into a map, you're an attacker, switch sides, you're a defender. Is it tied? Switch sides again, final round.
Right.
And, like, it's all just do. Yeah. Instead, it loads this whole thing to play a 1 to 5 minute game and then kicks you back out to the menu. And then play, like that.
How many different modes are there?
1. There's only the 1 mode. Yeah. And I understand why. It's because they don't want people playing deathmatch and people playing this, and then, like, splitting the player base, because there's not that many people in VR that are going to have this game, that are going to have the gun, that are going to.
I get that.
And that's fine. They said that they have other modes done, and they're going to release them. They're just seeing what their player pool is.
I'd be cool if they cycled the modes. Like,
I would be cool if you just didn't get to pick your mode.
Yeah, that's cool too.
You just go in and it's like team deathmatch, or let's do you're an attacker, game over. You're a defender. Game over. Is it tied? Team deathmatch.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like, something, I think if some people are a little bit upset that the only game mode there is you have 1 life. You know what I mean? You have just 1 life for this game mode. And I think that frustrates some people because, like, sometimes you walk into a trip mine and you feel like an idiot and you want to just get back out there and you can't, and then it, like, loads out, and then it's a little bit.
I definitely don't. I mean, I don't want to play that game out all the time, because it does get frustrating to have to wait and sit there and wait.
Sure. I do like the camera system, though. I know Siege does it. It's not like a new thing.
I think that's
but
neat.
I like it because the cameras are good. Like, they're in places where if you cycle through them, you can find the enemies.
That's really cool.
And you can call out to your teammate. It is purposefully easy to call out where people are.
That's cool.
And it makes it
how brutal
way
is
more.
Like the combat? Like how many shots does it take to like kill somebody?
It's not one hit kill, but you can kill somebody in a second. Like just few bullets.
That's cool.
It's definitely not cartoony, but it's also not Ghost
Recon.
Like
Counter-Strike or something.
Yeah, like it takes a couple bullets, especially if you're far away. It's a little bit harder for me to judge. I use the silenced classes and stuff, and all their damage is down. And then the contractor that I use has extra health, so I'm kind of skewed. I do less damage, and I take more damage. So it's a little tough for me to tell. But anyway, really, really like it. It's a $40 launch game, so it was like $30 with the Gamers Club Unlocked. That's cool. Dead now. But really, really, really enjoy it. On top of that, I've been playing more Fortnite. I don't need to go into it. There's a cube. I talked about that. There's some cube. It's rolling. It's doing some stuff. There's zero gravity when you're near it. The rumor is it's going to hit some spots, and it's going to change those into new areas. There's a rumored castle coming. All this stuff. Very excited to see where that goes. I'll talk about it when it happens. Finally, I've been playing Shenmue, specifically 1. Didn't play it that long, just kind of wanted to check it out, start off. It wasn't grabbing me. I'm going to go back to it. It's not like I'm done.
Yeah.
But very weird to go back to such an old game that's not really updated for modern consoles. The pause menu is still like the Dreamcast controller and stuff. It's really cool, the game. Just like to think about the time when it came out and what it's doing, it's like really, really, really easy to appreciate the game. But at the same time, it's very mundane. Like it's very
You're waiting for
you
things
open
like, at a time.
You open the door, you walk through the door, you close the door. Like it's very slow, and it's like living another life almost.
Right. But slow.
So it's not that exciting. Of a game, or at least right now. But I'm enjoying it. The thing that took me the longest to get used to is the one stick control. Because it's not a dual analog stick game, and it's weird to control a character only with one stick.
That's really strange.
The camera turns with your character, and you got to kind of figure it out. But anyway, I'll be playing more of it next week. Let's move into some news, shall we?
Let's do it.
Streets of Rage 4 has been announced. This was just like a stealth announcement. I don't have too much to say about this. Nick was ecstatic that this was happening.
Yeah,
I'm not a Streets of Rage guy. I think it's cool. I like that, everything old is new again. They're bringing literally everything back. Anything you can think of that like the licensing isn't caught up somewhere.
Yeah.
It's just coming back. It's coming back to, Switch. It's coming back to PS4. So I'm happy for the small amount of people that are excited for this. Not my thing.
It's like something if Nick brought it over, I'd play, but it's not something I'm going to go buy.
Correct.
It's cool though.
Yeah. So I just wanted to put that one in there. Next up, Battlefield 5 has been delayed from its October release date to November 20th. So this is interesting. Basically, it was reported that Battlefield's pre-orders were like horrendous, like 85% or something below Call of Duty. Yeah. It was getting destroyed. There was that whole controversy about the female soldier who is also handicapped on the front lines of the war, and people were like, not historically accurate, I'm out of here. This is the worst Battlefield game ever. Like, all that stuff. Yeah. I don't think it was launching with Battle Royale, even though they came out on stage and just went, Battle Royale! And then there was some, like, snickers, and they walked away. Not the candy bar, just laughs. But, like...
I do like the candy bar.
I'm not a fan. Three Musketeers. Pretty good.
All right, let's keep going.
Twix. Big fan of Twix.
Twix are amazing.
All right, let's agree there. Anyway, so it seems like they might have pushed the release date to maybe launch with Battle Royale, most likely get out of the way of Call of Duty and Red Dead 2. What do you think about this release date, John?
I mean, I think it's mainly they're trying to not compete with Call of Duty. Obviously, it's going to sell better.
Yes.
So I think it's the whole Battleborn Overwatch situation.
Interesting. That's a good comparison. I like that.
Because I think if they did come out at their original release date, it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be like a Christmas EA sale for like $10.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those things where the news headline is, look at how bad Battlefield's doing.
Yeah.
And like that's your headline, because that is what happened to Battleborn. That was a really good comparison. like people were making stories like, man, Battleborn's just getting destroyed. And it's like, that's not how you want your headlines to look. Lawbreakers kind of had that problem too, but they weren't like directly destroyed by something.
Right.
I think they were destroyed by themselves.
Yeah.
That's a really good comparison. Yeah. A lot of people comparing it to Titanfall, how Titanfall 2 in particular came out like on top of like Battlefront or something and Call of Duty, and it was just like there's three I think there was Wolfenstein in there too maybe, and it's like there's all these great shooters to play. Which one am I least excited for? Which one can I pass? And it was Titanfall, and then Titanfall just kind of died there. Anyway, I think it's a good move. I don't care either way. I'm not going to play it.
I'm also not.
I might play in the open beta. There's an open beta. I might check it out there.
It looks so uninteresting.
Oh, I agree. But like free is a good price for me to try something out.
Yeah. I don't think it's worth my time. So.
Like I'm probably gonna play in the Call of Duty beta that's coming up next week.
Did I tell you I played in the beta? The Call of Duty beta?
No.
So we can talk about this for a second.
Okay.
So
can't talk about Snickers, but we can talk about that. Sure.
Well, I mean, it's pretty relevant.
I mean, so are Snickers.
I like Snickers. I like Snickers ice cream bars.
Tell me about... Oh, those are good.
Twix ice cream bars are better, though.
Dude, Twix is just a delicious candy. I'm not a candy guy.
Yeah, Twix
I don't really like ice cream that much. I like select candies and ice creams. I don't like a lot of sweets. I don't even like cookies. Gave you my cookie earlier today.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, it was a free cookie.
I was like, I don't want this cookie.
Yeah.
You can have my cookie. Only like select things. Twix, probably my favorite.
Twix are delicious.
Also,
peanut butter Twix are my favorite.
Also a white chocolate guy. Don't really like regular chocolate.
I like the cookies and cream Hershey's bars. It's my favorite candy bar.
Now we're talking. So what were you saying?
So got in the Call of Duty beta on PC. It's through the Battle.net server, just like Destiny 2. So it's under all these Blizzard titles, which is weird. Because they're with Activision now.
Well, they've been, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I get on that. I'm playing through it, and I'm just not a huge fan of the changes.
You don't like the healing and stuff?
I like the concept of it, but I don't know if I like the way they integrated it in the game.
I don't know, haven't played it, whatever. My gut reaction when they announced it, I was like, that's really cool, and I like that. Call of Duty has always been the one-man army game.
Right.
It's always the show-off.
So
I'm going to get 25 kills.
Right.
Fuck my teammate. Like, your teammates in Call of Duty do not matter to you.
Right. And they do now, and that's the problem, is people are playing this game with a mentality of, I want to get my 25 kills and get all my kill streaks, which it takes so much longer in this game to get kill streaks. It's so much harder to get kills. And the maps... I don't feel like I'm ever with my team while I'm playing this game. I feel like there's no communication whatsoever.
Yep.
Which is, usual. I don't expect that from a Call of Duty, but they're making this game as an objective-based game, even if I'm playing team deathmatch. Like, they're making me gather up my team and kind of pick one person off at a time, kind of group up on killing someone. And you ran into places where you could tell when people were playing together because they would team up and like shoot you at one time.
Yeah.
And they would just keep doing that the whole game, which is I think what you're supposed to do in this game. You're supposed to group up and look out all the sides and kind of like use your abilities and things together.
Yeah.
You can only play one of one hero.
Stop pounding the table.
My bad.
You're shaking it all. It's fine. I'm just
telling
you, if you do it again, I'm going to break
I was so excited about this game, and it was very disappointing to play the beta. I probably played like 8 hours of it. All the hero abilities feel very unbalanced.
Oh, yeah?
There's some that one-shot people. There's some, like their ultimate abilities. Some of them one-shot people.
Wow, there's ults?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Some of them don't do anything.
I don't like hero shooters, dude.
Yeah, it's very hero shooter like feeling now. The graphics feel like Overwatch. Is what it kind of reminds me of. They look very unrealistic compared to like Black Ops 3. I don't know. I don't know if I'm a fan of it. I thought I was gonna like it going in because I was like, man, I love these team-based shooter games like Siege or Overwatch or there's a bunch of them out now, but yeah, it just doesn't mesh with the Call of Duty mindset and the Call of Duty playstyle of all these other 12 games they've come out with. So
I just want to play the Battle Royale.
Pick it up. I'm interested in how
that's
feels.
all I want to try.
Because the actual mechanics feel good. Like the stim pack feels good.
And that will be a free for all.
Yeah,
I imagine. I don't know.
I don't know how that's gonna work.
Actually,
but it sounds like a cool idea. But it does take forever to kill someone, and it's really very, very noticeable. Like you can shoot someone like 5 times and run behind a building, and then they're just gonna heal up, so you don't want to chase them. So it's really weird. I don't think I'm a fan. Like
I don't know. I need to play it, but that was my fear. Is that people that play Call of Duty are I don't want to be rude, but they're the show off. I'm going in. Look at my kill. Like that's what that game is about.
Right.
And I didn't think like adding teamwork was the correct choice to.
And they already kind of killed me with their like marketing strategy of you can't just buy one DLC at a time, either by the season pass or.
I mean, I'm not going to buy the game.
You're boned. Yeah, I'm not going to buy the game now.
But
I was excited about it, and I was going to buy the game. Now I played it, and I got this shitty marketing strategy, so I'm out.
All right. Next up. Smash Brothers Ultimate has a Steelbook and a Pro Controller bundle announced, and I believe they're selling the Pro Controller separately. It's actually, I think it's really nice. It is similar to my Splatoon one over there. The handles are white, the top part is black, and then it's got the Smash logo on it in white.
That's cool.
I think it looks really good. A lot of my stuff is black and white. I'm going for this black and white furniture thing. My chair is black and white, and I was like, oh, it matches. I want it. So I'll probably end up ordering this. And then it also comes with a Steelbook, which I don't have any Steelbooks for Switch, so that's kind of cool.
That is neat.
But launching same time as the game, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know how it's going to feel playing Smash on a Pro Controller. I think I'm going to try it, though. I want to get used to it because I normally play on the GameCube controller like a normal human being. But, like, I also want to play this game, like, casually. Like the whole, hey, let's play around. We have 15 minutes.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you can't bring your Pro control or your GameCube controller and all that stuff and like do that.
Right.
Like that's for the tournament play. So might just learn how to play with the Pro controller. Next up, Microsoft is doing a 2-year program for their Xbox One. So basically, there is a bundle for I believe $22 a month for 2 years, and you will get an Xbox One, Xbox Live, and Xbox Game Pass for that period for $22 a month, or you can get an Xbox One X for $35 a month.
It's pretty crazy.
So basically, the phone rental model brought to consoles with included services, similar to a phone. Your mobile data and all that stuff, that's your Xbox Live, that's your Game Pass, and then your console is your phone. And yeah, $22 a month. What do you think about this?
I think it's I think it's a very innovative idea, and I think it's a good idea. I feel like
U.S. only.
As much as Microsoft shits the beds with their premium titles and things like that, I feel like they do have these very creative ideas that are working, like the Game Pass and
I agree.
Just different things they've
backwards
done.
Compatibility.
Right, different things they've done with their operating system, and I think this is just another step in the right direction for them.
I agree. So I think this is cool. I wouldn't do it. The interesting thing to me is that it comes with Live and Game Pass. That's the thing. I think that's really cool. That's cool because then you don't need anything else. Like you could literally just do this and you're set. So for $22 a month, you could think of it like a Jeez, man. Bumping into everything. You could think of it like a Netflix style thing, except you get the console and the games and the online, like all that stuff's included, and it's $22 a month. That's not horrible.
No,
like that sure beats GameFly, which I think is the same price for 2 games a month.
Right.
So that's cool. Now this is my big questions. 1, do you think PlayStation cares or will do anything like this?
No.
I agree. 2, do you think when the next Xbox launches, they launch with a system like this? Where you can...
I think they're thinking about it. I think they're going to...
You think this is
almost
like
a trial run, yeah.
I agree.
And I think they might, they'll come out with this system and it's going to cost $1,000 or whatever, like a new smartphone does. Or they'll be like, but you can just get it for $35 a month and you get Xbox Live with that. And
I completely agree. I wouldn't be surprised if they do a deal, they do exclusive similar to a phone with this new console, where the consoles are going to be expensive and they know that, and this is their way to get out in front of it. And they're like, hey, you can pay monthly for your console, and included with that, all of our first-party games that come out, you get it day one.
Yeah.
Like, included in your thing.
Right.
And then it's like, well, that's hard to argue with. That's a pretty good deal. I could totally see that happening.
Yeah, and I think that's very approachable for a customer, like rather than saving up for, $600 or whatever and buying the console you want. I mean, it's obviously a lot easier to pay $35 a month or $25 a month or whatever it's going to be if they did this with the new console. And I think it helps out places like GameStop.
Interesting. Why?
I mean, it's just like having...
Because I think it shits on them.
Really?
Yeah, because you just got a console and online and hundreds of games from Game Pass. Why would you ever go to GameStop?
You don't think that you'll buy the console through them with like that? Like you go to the phone store and you're contracted through that phone store through your phone?
Oh, you think that... Well, it would have to be more expensive, and you would have to... Like, they'd be cutting it with Microsoft. Now, where I think GameStop might come in is like, what if you broke the console, or what if you want to upgrade the console? Like, what if they do like an X, and then you can upgrade yours to an X and all this stuff? But I think generally it hurts GameStop more. So the reason I am also saying this is right now this deal is only available through Microsoft Store.
Right.
So you can't do it through GameStop. But maybe if you could do it through GameStop and they raise the price a little bit and GameStop gets a cut, that might help them out. And then obviously Microsoft then knows how much money they're making. You know, they're getting, they're like, oh, I have this much money a month from this person for 2 years.
Yeah.
We got that money. Like, it's the same as having the money to them. So it's interesting.
I think it's a really good idea.
Next up, real quick piece of news. Shovel Knight Treasure Trove is coming April 9th, 2019. Very far out release date. It will include King of Cards and their Showdown mode, which is basically Smash Brothers Shovel Knight edition. Really cool. Looks like a lot of fun. Super excited for this. They've been teasing King of Cards for since 2017, and it's still not coming out till 2019. That's insane to me.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, but they're doing a new physical release of it with this. This, I think, is the final thing that they're going to do with Shovel Knight. And I honestly kind of think that part of the reason it's taking so long is I think they're working on Shovel Knight 2, and it's probably also going to come out fairly soon.
Yeah, that would be. If it came out the month after, it'd be sweet.
I don't think it'll be like the month after, but I think it could come out that year. Like, I could totally see that happening, or Super Shovel Knight, or whatever it is they end up doing. I think that they've, for a long time, have been devoting resources to another game.
Yeah.
But Shovel Knight, I think one of the greats of the generation. Treasure Trove, everything on one package, coming to Switch. You know, this King of Cards, completely new single player, adding this multiplayer. They already have co-op. Like, that game's been going for years and years and years. And it's impressive.
It's gonna be sweet.
Next up, Cyberpunk got its gameplay reveal officially revealed online. Basically, there's been behind closed doors demos of this been done, and then they were just like, here it is online. I'm like, I don't understand why you didn't just do this earlier.
Yeah.
You like it. You're excited.
I am. It looks really neat.
I'm just not a first person guy.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's first person. Like, why does that matter? I just don't like first person games as much as third person. Like, people say they do it to be immersive, to make you feel like the character. It doesn't feel like the character to me because it's the way you walk and move in first person is just not how somebody walks and moves. That's not how they I like
aesthetics a lot, so I definitely like third person games better, but it doesn't bother me when it's a first person game. It's not something I think about when I buy the game.
Okay, I do that.
It's not something that actually bothers me while I'm playing. But if it isn't third person, like let's say God of War, and I get a piece of armor or something, it's more exciting because
all cosmetic stuff is more exciting. Right. Animation, storytelling, and I know it's gonna cut to third person for like cutscenes and stuff like that. You do design your character, but it's so weird to design your character and I typically game. I don't know.
I typically like combat in games better in first person. I feel like it feels more realistic and it feels better. It feels more precise. In a lot of third person games, it feels a little clunky when you're dodging around or something like that in third person, or you're even shooting.
Really?
There's some weird things where I'll aim into a wall when I'm in third person or something like that.
Sure, that stuff does happen. But my thing in first person is I clip on stuff a lot.
Yeah.
Like my shoulder will hit something, and I can't get through the doorway, and I'm like, what the fuck?
I feel like that was a problem
there's a thing here.
PS2 games. I don't think I've had that problem in any recent.
Oh, really? I have that in first person all the time. Even in online multiplayer stuff, I'll be crawling or something. I'll hit something with my arm, and I'm like, what? Oh, and I got to scoot to the left a little bit. It just doesn't control the way I like for games. That being said, that doesn't mean I don't like first person. I'm not going to play it. It's just I'm a little upset that it isn't third person.
Right.
That being said, the game aesthetically, once again, it's this kind of not Android, but this like upgraded people system machines. Cool. It looks really cool. I'm interested. I'm definitely going to get it just because I like the developer as a developer.
Yeah, the story and the little cutscenes and things like that they showed look great. The conversations look sweet and fluid. And
I'm just not like, this is the most amazing thing ever.
Well,
I'm
I
like,
don't think that either.
Cool.
But I do think it's cool, and I think it's pretty unique. I think it's, it looks nice. I'm excited about
it. Finally, for our news stuff, Xbox Game with Gold and the PlayStation Plus games have been revealed, so let's go over them real quick. Games with Gold, we have Prison Architect, Livelock, Lego Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars, and Sega Vintage Collection Monster World. Wow.
Cool.
I don't want to play any of those.
No.
Okay.
They also, speaking of Xbox Live, I booted it back up because my buddy wanted to play Overwatch on it. And I got 2 months for $2 a month.
Yeah.
With like Game Pass included.
Yeah. That deal's over now though. But yeah. It was a Gamescom thing. Next, the PlayStation Plus games are Destiny 2, God of War 3 Remastered, Another World 20th Anniversary Edition, which is cross PS3 and Vita, Cube Director's Cut cross with PS3, Sparkle 2 cross with PS3 and Vita, and Foul Play cross with the Vita. Much better offering. Destiny 2 actually available early. It was available right when they announced it, which is kind of nice.
Cool.
Trying to sell those expansions. The expansions went on sale right after it went live. It was it was a ploy. But it's cool to get that game for free. And I think it's awesome to get God of War 3 remastered. I'll definitely jump into that and just check it out because I played God of War 3 like again very close to the PS4 launch. And graphically I was like, holy shit. Like this is a really good looking game.
It is.
Still. So I'm excited to see what the PS4 version looks like.
I haven't played God of War 3 since it came out on the PlayStation 3, so I'm excited to play it.
All right, let's move into a question. If you want your question read on the show, go ahead and leave it down below, and we can get to it on a future episode. So Housemarque, which is the developer behind Resogun and Nex Machina and all these things, they're twin-stick shooter arcade-style guys. Their next game is going to be a Battle Royale game. Kind of unfortunately. Their next game is going to be a Battle Royale game. So, the question is going to be, is there space for another Battle Royale game? What does it have to do? Like, how does another Battle Royale game make it at this point?
I think the Battle Royale games are running into the same issue as the MOBA genre when that was taking off. I think it's the same. It's a very similar situation.
There is two good ones.
Yeah, where there are two good ones. And there's one, one of them is like big worldwide and not big in the United States, and the other one's just big worldwide. Like Dota 2 is not big.
Oh, you're talking about MOBAs.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I thought you were talking about Battle Royale.
I guess there's PUBG.
Yes.
But yeah, it's the same kind of thing. I think there's room for two, and one of them's going to be the giant, and it's going to slowly kill off the other one. I think Fortnite is just going to keep, I don't think people need to be jumping on Battle Royale like they are. I think it's fine to put a game mode in your game that's Battle Royale, like things like Battlefield are trying to do or Call of Duty are trying to do.
But don't make a Battle Royale only game.
Because I don't think it's going to survive.
So what do you think about like H1Z1, which came to PlayStation and had like 5 million players?
I think people will hop on it, but I don't think it's going to continue to
You don't think it'll stay?
Right.
Interesting. So this is what I've thought about.
Sure. I was going to say one more thing.
Oh, go ahead.
The MOBA thing. It's like Heroes of the Storm came out, and it exploded when it came out, and then it died off real fast. And there's been this tiny player base since.
Here's what I think. I think that if you're there, I think there is room for another Battle Royale. But it has to be different. I feel like we have the realistic one. And we have the cartoony one.
Right.
I do think we're going to get the AAA military one, which honestly might just kill PUBG. And that'll probably be Call of Duty, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because it's also first person. None of the other ones, you can go into first person, but none of the other ones are like a first person.
Right. I think that's
Battle Royale.
I don't know if it's a selling point, but it definitely differentiates itself from the other ones.
So this is what I was thinking. And let me know what you think. You're not going to like it. But what about a more MOBA-inspired Battle Royale where you're like leveling yourself. Like there's 100 people and you're all like kind of leveling yourself up and doing your thing, and you fight until there's one left, and then when you get into your next match, you're level 1 again, and it's like a MOBA battle royale set. And I don't mean like gameplay of the MOBA where you're like killing grunts and stuff, but I mean like an RPG system where the max level's 10 and you're like kind of grinding.
So
like
Path, when they put out their April Fool's game mode, they did that exactly, like to a T. You started out level 1 with no weapons or anything. You picked up the weapons and things like that. And you also, like when you got a kill on a monster on the map, or there are also obviously 99 other players that you can kill. So when you kill a player, you also get experience and you level up and you get to choose abilities and things like that. And the next game you just start a new character.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool because then you can have split abilities. Everybody you run into would have different things. Like I don't know.
I think it's really neat.
I think that is a path that that hasn't been
explored very
well. Yeah. I also do think that there's room for one that is more like Radical Heights. I think Radical Heights was kind of a disaster. It was clearly like a cash grab, but a more like Jet Set one where there is this focus on movement, and I think that's what the Housemarque game's supposed to be, but I don't know. I haven't actually seen it. But where it is like maybe you can like wall jump and be more like an Unreal 2 situation where Unreal 2 on Xbox, you could play that in third person and there was like melee weapons and you could like if somebody shot at you, you could like swing and like hit their bullets back at them, almost like a Star Wars really cool type thing. But you could also like wall jump to get up higher, like a more vertical style one. Like I think there's room for them, but I think something that might need to be adjusted is the 100-player model. Maybe 50 players with smaller maps so they still feel as big, you know. Maybe you could do 50 players, but like killing somebody feels really good. Like it's much harder to actually get that kill, so it's a little bit more satisfying to get. I think there's different things.
I thought a cool model would be for a battle royale game is if there was like a battle royale creator. So like someone created a map and created like the systems in which it came and they put it on live, and then like 100 people jumped into that map and played it out.
Interesting.
I thought that would be an interesting.
That's like the ultimate stretching your player base thin situation where you're like, here is a like another battle royale game where you make your own, where everybody's making them and you have to go into their particular one. But I like the idea, like the general idea of it.
I think it'd be a really cool idea for a game.
I don't hate it. Anyway, yeah, I do think that there's room for more. Fortnite players are going to drop off. And the thing is, that's what like youth are playing. Like, it's insane. All they do is floss everywhere. They won't stop flossing.
It's crazy. I mean, I went to
the flossing.
I went to a concert, and the guy putting on the concert invited someone on stage to dance, and he started doing the floss dance. Yeah. And half the crowd knew what was going on, and then the other half didn't. And the guy putting on the concert was like, I don't know what that is, but I guess I got to learn that. I was like, oh, gosh.
They do it in the trailer for Shazam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's a dead meme. But anyway, like, Fortnite's going to lose players as they get a little bit older, and they're going to want something similar to Fortnite, but more mature.
Right.
And I think that medium needs to be found, but they still have like 2 years, 3 years to get that going. And yeah, I think we're going to see Battle Royale just in games from now on. Where?
I don't know if it's from now on, but I definitely think it's for the next 5 to 10 years.
Well, yeah, sure. I'll be dead by then. That's fine. It's for the foreseeable
I definitely
future.
think this is like a fad, but
I agree. I think people making Battle Royale only games is a fad. I think that Battle Royale is not a fad. It just has a game mode.
No. Yeah. That's a better way to put it.
Okay. Just making sure. Let's talk about some releases really quickly and then get out of here, shall we?
Okie dokie.
First up, Destiny 2 Forsaken is coming September 4th to PS4, Xbox One, PC. Wow, it's a shocker that the Destiny 2 is free right now. Dragon Quest 11 is coming to PS4 and PC September 4th.
So I was looking at buying the Destiny expansion, and you can't actually get it unless you have the other expansions.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
It's like I hate Blizzard and Activision. It's horrible.
Yep.
Next up, Gone Home is coming to the Switch September 6th. One of my most disliked games that people love. Gone Home and Life is Strange. I don't get it. I don't understand. There's much better games that do the same thing much better. There's movies that do it much better. Somebody explain to me why those games are so loved. I just don't get it. Next up, Immortal Unchained, PS4, Xbox One, PC, September 7th. NBA 2K19, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC, September 7th. Switch, very interesting.
That is.
Very, very interesting.
I'm sure
NBA Live 19, PS4, Xbox One, September 7th. No Switch. Ooh, SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy, Switch, PS4, September 7th. This is the SNK fighters that's all like female.
Mm-hmm.
This game looks like a fun time, alcohol required.
Oh, yeah. That's a good drinking game.
I don't know. I might get this. We'll see.
I'll play it.
We'll see. It's like a fighting game that has goodish like mechanics that doesn't take itself seriously.
Right.
It's like not trying to be the competitive fighting
right.
game. It's just trying to have a
it
good
looks
time.
fun, though.
It does look fun. I'd be interested in it. The small one, indie game here. Marvel's Spider-Man, PS4, coming September 7th. You interested in this?
Yeah.
You are?
I was very excited about it. And now I'm semi-excited about it. And I think...
I'm not excited. I get less excited every week. Like, I'm not even going to get it.
I don't really know what happened to my excitement. Like, the game looks cool.
I just don't feel like I have to play it right now. Like,
Yeah.
I'll play it by the end of the year. I'll borrow a copy or whatever. But, like, I was more excited for the Tag Team Frenzy game. Like, I like Spider-Man as a character.
Yeah.
The thing is, I love Batman.
Mm-hmm.
I think Batman's really cool. I like the Batman games, but like even then, I'm not like freaking out about them. I played Arkham Asylum like 5 years after it came out. I played City after that, and then I played Night, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Night. I think I liked Night more than most people. That game got kind of unfairly shit on, I think, but like. I'm still not excited. Like, if they announced another Arkham game, I still wouldn't buy it at launch, even though I liked all the other three. And that's kind of how I feel about this. Like,
I don't think I'll buy it at launch.
I like the other ones.
I think I'll play it eventually.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel.
It's not on like my top 10 games to play this year or anything like that. But it looks cool. I mean, I think it looks really neat.
Finally, I think you've got this one pre-ordered. We have Yokai Watch, Blasters, Red Cat Corp, and White Dog Squad.
How do these games keep
for
selling?
the 3DS, September 7th.
Ugh.
Yokai Watch, you love.
I don't like this game.
You love it. So I've told this story before, but I'm going to tell it again.
Sure.
You wanted a 3DS.
Yep.
Or a 2DS in particular.
Yeah.
And I went to a store, and they had 16 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, it was like a pawn shop type store.
Yeah.
And I was looking at them. I text you. I'm like, hey, do you want one? They're pretty cheap. I think it was like $60 or $50 or something.
Yeah, it's $50.
And it comes with the Yokai Watch. And I was like, oh, I kind of want it, whatever. And while I was like doing that, some other guy came up and he's like, I'll buy all of those off you if you lower the price 10% on all of them. And I was like, ah, shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, Todd, do you want this? And you're like, yeah. So I went up to that guy and I'm like, hey, man, like I just texted my friend. I asked him if he wanted. I was like, can I have one of those?
Yeah.
Just one of them. And he was like super bitter.
Yeah.
He's like, ugh, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I'm going to sell them on eBay. And I'm like, yeah, you're a douchebag. Cool. Can I have one? Like, somebody actually wants to play it.
Right.
And he gave me one. And I went and I bought it and I gave it to you. And then that night, I believe, we went to a friend's house, which was, a lengthy drive, like an hour drive.
Right.
And you played Yokai Watch the whole way
time.
there.
Yeah.
Then we like watched a movie or football or something.
We watched some football upstairs, yeah.
And you were playing Yokai Watch.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the night, you were playing more Yokai Watch. And then you just stopped and you were like, I hate this game. And I don't think you've ever played it since.
No, I haven't. Yeah. I don't even. It was a real disappointment because I thought this game was just going to be like kind of an alternate version of Pokemon. Which I think it is what it's trying to be. It's very similar in a lot of aspects. But it's just more silly and more cartoony, and there's more dumb things, and I don't like the way anything looks. I'm just not a fan.
Fun fact, Level 5 makes the games. Who does Ni no Kuni and Dark Cloud. That's it.
It felt like very childish.
Yeah, it's clearly for a younger audience, for sure. For sure. Really big in Japan, though. Surprised. The childish thing with the cartoony things is big in Japan.
Yeah.
Anyway, I always like joking about that. But that's all the news we have. That's all the releases. That's all the opinions we have for this episode of the Press X podcast. Thank you for being here, Todd.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Sorry for bumping in and everything.
It's fine. I'll just have to fix it all in post, and it'll be great. I'm just going to leave it. Sorry, listeners. And thank you guys so much for watching. We'll speak with you next time.